I'm doing notes, I'm in space, I'm doing notes, I'm in space, I'm doing notes in space. Guys, this is incredible. It could just be the future. Let's talk about it. So in the age of the metaverse and absolutely the huge hype for virtual reality, I knew I had to get a piece of this action. Now, at this point, I had only tried virtual reality for like 5 minutes and I only played Beat Saber. I loved it. And then when I saw Oculus had just reached their second iteration, I was ready to try it out with this thing, the Oculus Quest 2. I naturally bought the headset, I set it up, and of course the first thing I did was play Beat Saber. Then I started to feel that the picture of Ali Abdel I have hanging here was judging me for not being productive or making any content.
Stop being a waste man. Stop being a waste man.
So I decided I would investigate onto how to make VR productive. You see, since the pandemic, the vast majority of teaching, the study sessions, everything that I do normally face-to-face has gone online. Literally every sort of interaction that you'd normally find at university being face-to-face at a lecture hall was just done through Zoom or Teams. So I thought, hey, why don't I just go all in? Why don't I try and study in VR? And that is exactly what I did. And let me tell you one thing now, it's way better than I expected. That's right, everyone. It took me a space of an hour to figure out how to turn something fun into productivity. Productivity is fun. I mean, that's what I keep telling myself anyway. Now, before I actually take you into the metaverse, let me actually establish what the mission here is, what the absolute dream is. And that's to find a perfect, immersive virtual study environment that I can use to focus and do my work in. The perfect oasis would be a VR cafe. That is what I'm going to try and find. Being able to go in there, feel the ambience of the cafe without having to pay for that expensive latte, that's the dream. This is where an amazing startup called ImmersedVR comes in. It's run by this guy called Renji Bajoy. No, I know what you're thinking. He's not related to me. Anyway, this startup essentially lets you stream your computer screen into a VR space using a VR headset like the Oculus Quest 2. And this should essentially allow you to work in VR. The setup itself literally took less than 10 minutes. All I had to do was download the app on the Mac, download the app on the actual headset, and do a couple of bits basically to connect the whole thing, and we were in. Now, after a quick tutorial about how Immersed uses the onboard, so there's 4 onboard headset cameras to essentially track your hands that will allow you to interact within the virtual space, they basically said, hey, off you go. You're now free to roam the VR world of productivity. You hear that? Huh? You hear it? I'm being productive. You happy now? You better be. So I was ready to essentially go for this mission and find my VR cafe. Here we go. Welcome to the VR metaverse of studying. These are my hands. That's my tiny keyboard, which I don't use because I can touch type. This is it. I'm somewhere in the Milky Way galaxy, I assume. Some other galaxies there. And this is it. I'm literally in space. So this is my space, or my current space. I can change it whenever I want. But Immersive VR basically lets you stream your whole computer screen to this virtual study space, and you can generate up to 5 screens to work on. Now, I just use 2 normally, because you can completely change the position and the size of the whole screen, and it's like you have one of those massive 43-inch curved monitors right in front of you. It uses the hand tracking from the VR headset to allow you to resize, orientate, and control any aspect of the virtual world. So, for example, let's say you want to type. You have this little tiny keyboard, which you can make bigger, and it will show you what you are typing. I don't use this because I kind of want to improve my touch typing, so I just leave it as this tiny small thing. It's something that you can do if you want to see what you're typing in VR, and it actually syncs with your mouse and your keyboard so that you can see what you're doing like in real time. So if your keyboard is in front of you, then it will also show the virtual reality keyboard in front of you as well. And suddenly I was studying all my stuff in space, in the clouds, in the caves, and even in the Alps. So in terms of the mouse and navigation, you can actually navigate with your hands alone. It just uses the hand tracking. But it's just best to use the mouse because it's exactly like you would see on an actual screen, and it's much faster, at least in my experience. I was really surprised because it was really intuitive. So for example, if I needed to change my environment, I tap my wrist like this, and then just a few more taps, and then suddenly I switch to a brand new area. The only thing that you kind of have to put up with is how stupid you look on the outside. Now, I haven't actually tried this myself, but I do know that they have webcam capabilities and even a way to actually have like a whiteboard that you can draw on. The coolest part, the smallest detail that they put in there that just blew my mind is the fact that you can change seats, okay? So you're in an environment, but you can change the seats of the environment, which just completely opens up a sort of new perspective, a new view, which was just amazing. It's such a small detail. All this was amazing and, you know, incredible and new and wonderful. The main looming worry I couldn't shake was about the potential eye strain that it gave me early on. The thing is, because VR is so new, there is still a lot of research to be done. Of course, I'm not a medical professional, so don't take this as medical and tailored advice. The early literature seems to indicate that there should not be any expected long-term side effects for the eyesight, at least for now, but we're just gonna have to see how that pans out. So the moment you've all been waiting for, did I find it? Did I find the VR cafe? Well, after wondering about the menus, I finally found the perfect oasis for focus, the VR cafe. This is it. Oh my god. Guys, I found it. This is the gold mine. Like, I don't need to go anywhere else. Is that cappuccino I smell? We got some street stuff. Looks like a Golf. Very good choice for a car. So this is where everyone spawns. So like every time someone new comes in here, they're going to spawn here. So if you're like, you know what, I don't want to really be social, I don't want to go into the corner, you point it at this and bang. Just like that. Check out another one. Bang. Bang. I'm at the bar. Right, you got whatever those stuff is. The music is also inbuilt into the system. So that makes it even better. That, and just like that, I'm here. Turn my screens on, turn my hands off, and I'm here chilling in the cafe, making notes on hernias and dementia. What more can you ask for? I mean, come on. I paired this whole environment with this cappuccino oil diffuser I bought like a while back. I just still don't know how they make it. Do they take the cappuccino out, or do they put the essential oil in, or do they extract? But it kind of smells like coffee, and that's what matters. But overall, it was just like I was in a cafe. It was just an incredible way to focus, because usually I'm immersed into the study session by listening to music and changing the mood lighting about my room to sort of suit the focus. But now my whole surrounding and the cinematic audio from the Oculus were all working together to create this environment purely for studying. And that's pretty special. VR studying has opened up so many possibilities. If I want to generate a massive screen, I don't have to lug around this huge monitor. I just have to take this headset and have a stable Wi-Fi connection. You can even join public rooms and study with other random people, although it can be a mixed bag sometimes, because sometimes you join and you're like, okay, I'm going to study, but because you can use your mics to talk to each other, you know, people will just be talking randomly, but you can mute them. It's kind of like a Modern Warfare 2 lobby where, you know, you just mute everyone if you want to. I can study anywhere I like. I can study standing up, which saves me the cost of a standing desk. And if I can persuade any of my friends to get another VR headset, I can actually generate a whole study session without them actually being there. Even when it comes to taking breaks from studying, there are some incredible stuff that you can do in VR, like taking 3D tours of the world using Google Maps. So really, it's an absolutely amazing experience, which if you have the shot, if you have the chance to try it, definitely give it a go. And as to whether I'll be studying in VR from now on, long term, it's going to depend on how my medium use turns out, and I'll be sure to upload a video then to get an updated review. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out how my vlogs and how my current room setup that you see around me look in my other videos. So go check them out. But until next time, leave any descriptions in the comment section below. But I'll see you soon, and stay intentional. Bye.
Basically ever had in my life. And when I started this YouTube channel in 2017, I knew so little about things like marketing and branding and filming and growing.
Wait a minute. Huh. You changed his glasses.